Hello everybody, and welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy 2! Alright, now that we've gotten every power star that we could possibly get in Sky Station Galaxy, let us finally move on to an actual new galaxy this time. And it's called Yoshi Star Galaxy. Yeah, this is where Yoshi actually ended up in. Yeah, in his very own galaxy. Yeah, a galaxy that's literally named after him. Anyways, now for our first mission is settle up with Yoshi. Yeah, now you may think it's simply just finding him, right? Well, as you'll see, Yoshi is being held captive right now. So we need to save it before we get to utilize. Yoshi. Yoshi again. Let's go. Oh yeah, and I guess I should probably bring this up as well. Now the music for this game. Now not every single music track hits it for me, but there are a few music pieces in this game that I actually do like, and Yoshi Star Galaxy is actually one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I really do like the little jingle that we actually get to hear from this galaxy. But anyways, also bring them back from the first Galaxy game is, of course, we get our Magikoopas, who will the Magikoopas that we usually saw in Galaxy 1, they usually spawned fireballs. But the Magikoopas in this game can also sometimes spawn in from other enemies as well, like the mini Goombas. But anyways, there he is, Yoshi hatched from the egg and Didi. You saved me. Yeah, just like we do for every time just like for every time that we actually see you in the game. I know. We should team up. Come on, hop on my back. And just like we do for the majority of the games that we have Yoshi in. All right, and now for those of you who don't know how to utilize Yoshi at this point in your life. Now with Yoshi, you can utilize the full letter jump. You can utilize Yoshi's tongue to devour the enemies. Now, what you probably don't know is, yeah, you can actually utilize Yoshi to actually eat the prickly plants. Yeah, that's something you probably would not expect as you go for this level the first time. Yeah, Yoshi can actually eat the prickly plants. Oh yeah, and also now not only can Yoshi eat other things like say these fruits here, but also with the cursor. You can actually have Yoshi target onto multiple objects at once. But however, the maximum amount of objects that you can have Yoshi point at, yeah, it's only at a maximum of 3 only. So yeah, don't get too excited about having you get yourself swarmed by a whole lot of enemies with. But anyways, as you saw, yeah. Up top of that little tall hilltop. Yeah, was indeed where the common medal for this galaxy is. Now, and also, this galaxy also is the first to bring back the full lip bugs, who may be scared of you and also Yoshi at first. But if you just don't happen to be wearing a specific power-up, then that's when the flip bugs can actually attack you. Yeah, you'll definitely see what I mean as we probably gonna get into the game. Now, another brand new enemy that they actually also introduced for this game are these guys, called and now those guys that were trying to make out with Yoshi there. Those guys are called, now, those enemies are called Smeeches. Yeah, they are essentially like a leech type of enemy, where instead of poisoning you or leave, yeah, they more so appear when now with how these Smeeches work is now if you just so happen to approach them with just a Mario, then the Smeeches will run away from you. But if you just happen to be riding with Yoshi, then that's when the Smeeches will want to go after you. Will more so attempt to try to actually make out with Yoshi. So essentially, utilize Yoshi's ton to get them to actually make out with Yoshi, and then you essentially spin attack into them in order for you to be able to get rid of them. Oh yeah, now as you saw there, now the dice block that we saw back at the starship. Yeah, that is not the only time that we're gonna be seeing that. Yeah, Starship Mario is not the only place that we're gonna be seeing those dice blocks. Yeah, there are going to be multiple dice blocks that we are going to be seeing. All throughout the entire game. And I may as well say what sort of stuff that you can get from them. Now, back at the starship, you can not only get yourself a 1-up, or you can probably get maybe 1 star bit. But as you saw, now considering that we got a coin from that dice block, multiple coins actually came out of it, which is definitely a good thing if you really want to stock up on coins. And then if it just so happens to land on Bowser, then it actually just spawns in a Goomba. Yeah, and that's it. Okay. Now, and I guess as I was talking about the music before, for Sky Station Galaxy, it's not really one of my favorites. I just find it decent enough, I guess. Then as for the music that played as we were fighting against the Pee-wee Piranha, that one is also decent too, I guess. That one is also not one of my favorites. It's just decent. I want to say it is just decent. I want to say it's just decent enough. Oh yeah, and now that we have Yoshi, yeah, Yoshi actually gets his own set of like a pulse stars, just like Mario does, just like Mario does, as you're able to grab onto those pulse stars, whereas for Yoshi, whereas for these things. Now you can only activate those with Yoshi, and if you just saw now it is essentially a way for you to be able to get some extra height, so that you can jump from from one flower grab onto the next. Yeah, and which is probably something that we're gonna see as we get to the end of this level. So yeah, so yeah, they definitely made so yeah, they essentially so within this game they definitely made Yoshi more of they definitely made Yoshi more of a requirement this time around. Whereas in for the let's say for example for the new Super Mario Bros. Games, Yoshi is Yoshi's only there if Yoshi in those games is only really like an optional thing at times. Whereas in if you don't really care about getting every star coin, then you can simply just avoid Yoshi if you want to. Whereas in this game, they definitely made Yoshi more of a requirement if you want to be able to progress through the actual game itself. Yeah, you see here. Now this right here is what I was talking about, where you simply utilize one flower to the next one, so that you can have Yoshi, so that you can actually go where you actually want to go. Oh yeah, and as you saw there, if you just happen to finish a mission with Yoshi, then Yoshi will also join in on that ending sequence too. So again, they definitely made Yoshi more of a required character this time around. So yeah, they definitely made Yoshi even more important this time. Say, I don't mean to pry or anything, but what is that thing over there? I mean, being straight with me, pal, you hatching alien eggs now? Haha. Not exactly. Yeah, now as you'll see, as you progress through the game, more stuff, more things will show up on the starship. Yeah, allowing you to not only interact and not only for you to interact with, but also more means for you to be able to get even more lives. Like say here for example, this little area with Yoshi here is definitely another way for you to get yourself at least enough one up from. So yeah, again, there's gonna be multiple ways for you to get a lot of lives on the starship. Oh yeah, and I guess I should point this out as well. Yeah, unlike Super Mario World, yeah, even though you drive the starship with Yoshi, yeah, Yoshi does not start off you do not get to have Yoshi for every mission. It's only specific missions where we can only utilize Yoshi with. So if you think that Yoshi's gonna be around for the entire gameplay, unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. But anyways, now for our second mission of Yoshi Star is Spiny Control. Now as you can see, now we have a bunch of Spinies. Yeah, they have now taken over the entire galaxy, and along with them, of course, are some Lakitus, who of course can drop even more of them. Now as you'll see, Yoshi does not actually get to fully eat the Spinies, but instead, you first have to bring the actual Spinies themselves into their shells first. Before Yoshi can put them in his mouth. And then once you do that, then once you eat them again, and then that's when you can actually aim. Then that's when you can. Then that's where you can aim. Aim at the actual Spinies. That's where you can aim your shots, so that you can spit them out. To destroy things. Let's say for example, the glass. Let's say for example, the glass. The glass that we actually see around here. Yeah, that is actually one of the ways that we're going to be utilizing the Spinies for. Oh yeah, and as you saw from the Lakitus, now you can actually get rid of the clouds with by utilizing Yoshi's tongue. And then that's how you're able to get rid of them. But they do sometimes. But as you saw, they do of course respawn. So yeah, whenever you see Spinies or Lakitus, then you probably are not going to be able to get rid of them all. You're probably not going to get rid of them all that much. Yeah. But anyways, and speaking of Lakitus, yeah, you may have saw as I was going over the Spinies, yeah, I think what I saw was when one of the Lakitus respawn, their clouds didn't exactly respawn with them immediately. Yeah, I think I saw Lakitu literally floated in space before his cloud literally spawned in with him. Although I could be very, very wrong on this, because obviously I was not paying any sort of attention to that. But if you can point out for me, for those of you who are watching this, can point out that you may have saw that would have been something else. Like, how is it that a friggin' Lakitu was able to respawn without the freaking clouds? Immediately. But anyways. Now, as you've been seeing in this galaxy, now you can also utilize Yoshi's tongue to extend to some platforms. But however, they do go back in. They do go back in over time. So essentially, yeah, make sure you get up to where you actually need to go before they actually. Before those platforms go back in. Yeah, these are platforms right here. Yeah, these are the platforms that I was just talking about here. Okay. Now, if we want to do this right. Now, I need to make sure this is extended out first. Then I need to grab the Spiny. So, oh, crap. Yeah, the aiming portion can be a little bit off-putting at times. There we go. And now we get our launch star. Go over here. And now, this area may contain something very strong. Yeah, I mean, well, not very strong considering he is indeed the second boss fight in the game. Here we have King Lakitu. Now, the way that you deal with this guy is essentially you just toss the Spinies at him. Now, it is not just the Spinies that you have to worry about from this guy. Now he will also shoot down some lightning. He will also try and shoot down some lightning at you too. Oh yeah, and I guess I should say this as well. The music that plays during this fight. Now this one, I actually do really like. I actually really do like this boss fight music here. Now then, as we everyone, now as we get into the final fight, now he will shoot. Now he will shoot this. Now he will start throwing this. Now he will start throwing his spinies from a very far, from a very far away. And also, he essentially becomes a lot more good at dodging. Now he will essentially get a lot more good at dodging your shots. Yeah, as you saw. Yeah, he was definitely very good at dodging my spiny shots. Yeah. But anyways, there we go. That right there's the end for King Lakitu. And now let's get our lovely coins. Oh yeah, and also coins that we can also get from out of the ground by simply just shooting a star bit at. But I decided I'm just gonna leave them there, just because I didn't really feel like getting them now. And besides, we're gonna get more coins as we go along for the game anyway. But anyways, there we go. And now we are done with those missions for that galaxy, I believe. But anyways, everyone, with that said, that shall be all I'm gonna do for this part. And so, until the next part, I'll see you guys next time.